But it's not, is it that big?
Yeah. And
That's 104 inches.
yeah, it's one of the lines, it's beautiful, and it holds that, maybe even slightly
I
smaller.
thought it was a bigger wall.
The wall is 22 foot, that would hold that back wall by itself
With the
spectacular.
little ones?
I don't think it needs little ones. I mean, what I want to know is like, what do you want this show to, I thought about what I want the show to represent.
You tell me.
Okay, I think it's amazing that you're making great paintings at the age of 90.
And what?
You're making great paintings at the age of 90. And so it's a toss-up between doing like an overall view of who you are, or really talking about the pictures you've done since you last showed in New York to show that you're making as good or better paintings than you've ever made. To me, that's really the show. And it's also about the fact that if we're going to get somebody to write about it for a catalog and someone to try to place an article, which we need to do quickly, in Art in America or someplace like that, not in Brooklyn Rail, which I know we can do. There has to be a reason behind the show. I learned anything from the first two shows. If it's curated for a reason, it has respect, and if it's just like a show, whatever. So,
A group show.
or just even like a show that has no real
Yeah,
reason for it. I also learned that the space looks incredible sparse, which is always designed for. So I'm having a hard time mediating like those three factors. It's going to be a big deal, a show. A lot of people are really interested, and it's going to be really will be a big deal. The question is, like, if a writer was to write about you now, what would you write about you now that was different than what's already been written? I mean, there's a lot written about you. We have the backstory. We know all that. It's fantastic. What can we say about the pictures that have not been seen in New York since then, and about, you know, where you are and what you're doing? That's kind of what I think the show should be. That's one way. The other way is just to show, you know, a kind of survey of great work, which maybe people haven't seen. I don't know which pieces fit into which category, how that lays out in the space, but I'm happy to go in either direction as long as we have like a real reason why we're doing what we're doing.
I don't see the problem has to do with space. And we can't get, you know, 400 pieces in there.
The space could hold pictures this size, could hold 7 large pictures beautifully. It holds 5 spectacularly, but those are big, and 7 that way. So the question is, you know, with those two factors, and like, is there a theme behind the show? What pictures are selected for the show? That's, I think, I love these pictures, by the way. These are new?
I just did them.
Yeah, I really,
The top one is the last one.
I really do love this notion of showing the most recent work to show that you're just like, you know, still killing it at 90.
I think that red one is one of my best paintings.
Which this top red one? Yeah, it goes back to, it comes out of you also looking at like all the classical paintings that you were looking at recently, like Goya, Rembrandt, all that stuff. Why this anonymous crowd scene? Why the anonymous crowd scene?
Eternal return. This happens over and over again. You know?
I like all those pictures. Now, I'm open to doing like an unconventional thing where some things are saloned. I mean, it doesn't have to be hung straight.
No, I love them.
You like the arrangement like that?
Just that kind of, you know.
Are there going to be more of those?
It's only November.
I know. Well, I know. That's why I'm looking.
You know, I'm also thinking in terms of doing the crowds with other elements, and that's what I'm playing with now. So they're not just crowds. I don't know yet. You know how my head goes. Because look, if you look at those 3 photos, there's enough stuff in there to start me dealing. See, I originally started a collage.
I remember last time I saw you were putting collage elements into the pictures.
Yeah, originally I was going to do another large painting. I already have a sketch art for it, actually.
Right.
And Matter of fact, I think you may have seen this. Here. See, that was gonna be another collage, which may still be.
Right.
But then when I started doing them individually, I thought, well, this would be a really exciting group to do some small paintings.
Yeah. And you do see them as shown Salon in one area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that too. Like there's one of the, there are basically five giant banks in the space. So like this would hold one of the banks.
So
Beautiful.
what about the three big ones?
Which three big ones?
The photographs of the three big ones.
Well, they weren't that big though, were they? How big were they?
50 by 60, 50 by 63, 50 by 67.
Right.
I mean, we might just show the one, the red one, which is the Tower of Babel one, which I think is the best one.
When is this one? When was this one done? When was this
At
done?
the end of, just before the show, December of 2002.
Okay.
This is the last piece I did for the Miami-Dade show.
Okay. Do you have a concept or a title for the show? For this show coming up, do you have a concept for it or a title?
Since New York, leaving New York, or, I don't know.
Right.
That's the question. You want to just have a
Right.
mini retrospective?
Right, or does the show have a more pointed?
Yeah.
How many paintings have not been seen in New York that are
And there were 19 coming attractions along.
Right.
Okay. There are 10 paintings from the Paint series. There are everything since the FBI series has not been shown in New York.
Wow. Wow.
And that, that was the crazy thing. I left New York on a wave. I had a show at the Museum of Modern Art, and I leave New York.
Why'd you leave New York?
We came to Gainesville because Jill had a teaching job. December 18th of 2002.
So, one of the stated goals of the gallery and the exhibition is to get as much exposure and someone, certainly your stature, to put the best foot forward and maybe, finding someone to really be able to sell and put these paintings where they're supposed to put. What would you like to show? If I said to you, just go ahead and do what you want, Arnold, here's the space, what would you do?
Shock and Awe, this
Okay.
Eternal Return, those three paintings and these,
On one wall, right?
and Coming Attractions.
All the way around.
Yeah.
So this is the back wall, this is Shock and Awe.
Yeah, that's that wall.
Okay, with or without the small paintings next to
Or
it?
they could be just Salon, or they could be
Okay,
one wall.
what's on this wall now?
Eternal Return, this series.
These
Those
small
three
ones.
paintings and these small ones.
Okay, all right,
Coming Attractions,
all the way around.
yeah. I got enough left over that aren't sold.
How many coming attractions are there?
You have 2 or 3.
Right.
There's one in there, there's this one. I thought maybe just the architecture ones.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Not that, but I
No.
thought you should see that.
Yeah. So how many other architectural ones are there? You got me buzzing or you buzzing? Who's buzzing?
It's not me.